Are you smart or dumb? If you said you're dumb, then answer these tests. If you said you're smart, it's up to you to watch this or not. Hello there, my name is Grizz, and let me welcome you to Blah Blah Brain Games. Okay, so we have our volunteer for today named Greg. Okay, so, Greg, how are you today?
Just fine. I'm excited to test my dumbness.
Oh, come on, don't say that. Anyways, let me ask you this question. Okay, so what is 1 I, 2, B 69, C 11, D infinity?
I don't know.
Don't worry because we're gonna warm up that brain with a little blah blah brain games. Aha, didn't you notice, Greg?
The what?
Didn't you notice the first test? We did the intro sequence 2 times.
Oh yeah, that happened. Before you introduced yourself and just now.
See, just like Greg, his brain is not ready to answer difficult questions such as 1 + 1. So what we're gonna do is to warm up that brain with a little blah blah brain games. You see, if you think the title scene was gonna start again, then you were completely wrong. Alright, so for the first game is called The Math Psychic. This is for Greg and all of you, so just follow along. So, pick a number from 110. Now, add 4. Then, subtract 1. After that, add 2. Now finally, subtract the original number that you started off with. Because the number you are in now is the number that's in my mind. Ready? That's right. 5. Easy. For the next game is called The Trainsaw Massacre. So Greg, if there are 2 trains on the same track and coming to one, another train A is going 50 mph and train B going 50 kph. Assuming there's no wind and both trains left the station at the same time, what would most likely be yelled by the passengers on train A? I, all of the above. B, help. C, new. D, look out.
My guess C.
So close. The answers were B, C and D would have been correct if we were talking about train B, which are filled with foreigners, being that they're measuring kilometers. But we are talking about train A measured in miles per hour, which means all the passengers were Americans, and that's not what Americans would say in that scenario.
If that's it, so the only answer left is A, which is referring to B, C and D. Which means there's no right answer, right?
Wrong again. The answer is actually A. You need to think outside of the box, Greg.
Box.
You see, the answers were E. Who cares? F. This is so dumb. G. This needs to stop because if it doesn't, or H. Trains.
But I can't see those, so that's not really fair, right?
You need to think outside of the box because this is Blah Blah Brain Games. For the last game is called What Do You See on the Screen? All you have to do is tell me if what do you see on the screen, Greg?
The letter A.
Wrong. The answer is the color blue.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the...
Next question. What do you see on the screen now? Do you see the color red?
Yes.
Wrong. The answer is actually the letter A.
But you're the one that asked me the...
Next question. What do you see on the screen now?
Well, I see the letter A colored gray.
Gray spelled with an A or with an E?
Does it matter?
Not really.
Okay, so with an A then.
Wrong. The answer that we were looking for.
What about with an E then?
Still wrong.
What?
The answer that we were looking for is the letter A colored a light black.
I don't think that's even a color.
However, if we darken this gray color thing, what do you see on the screen now?
Okay, so nothing physically changed, right?
Correct.
So it must be the letter A colored black.
Greg, that is absolutely wrong.
What?
The correct answer was a 90-degree rotated and finished drawing of Pac-Man eating a Tic Tac. Next and final question. What letter do you see on the screen right now?
What letter?
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the color, right?
Indeed.
And it's not a stupid answer like an unfinished drawing of Pac-Man. And it's an actual letter in the English alphabet.
That is correct.
Okay. Then it has to be the letter I.
Wrong.
What the
The correct answer is an extremely zoomed in picture of the letter B.
Okay, but the letter B is made up from a bunch of A's, so technically, my answer wasn't wrong this time, right?
Wrong again. The B is not made from a bunch of A's.
What? Then what is it made up then?
And finished Pac-Man drawings.
You son of a...
Now that your brain is warmed up, it's time to answer the mathematical question. But first let me answer your question with another question. Does it really matter? Well, it does matter to those who don't know math. Now let's go back. You see, now that your brain is ready, you may now solve the problem. Now if you've finished solving, you can now see how you can add 1 into 1. After all that, you can finally see that the answer to this question is 2.
2. It's 2. It all made sense. Why did you make us go through all of those stupid exercises? That it turns out, you'll just have to add 1 to 1 and you'll just immediately get the answer, which is 2.
Wrong.
What?
The answer is actually A.
Seriously, you made me and the audience go through all of this? And you're not even gonna give us a serious answer?
I did answer it. The answer is A.
That makes no sense. What does the letter A have anything to do with the number 2?
Well, not the letter A, but the answer is A. You need to see the full picture, remember. You need to think outside of the box. The answer is actually A.
All of the above.
Yep, that's right. If somebody ever asks you that question, all you have to do is say A, all of the above. A, who cares? F, this is so dumb. G, this needs to stop because if it doesn't.
If it doesn't, then what? Two trains.
You see, now you're on the right track.
2 trains!